is amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day, race against the clock at a hill climb, or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Fishies in a row. They're here to make a point and to do Eddie proud. They fan out in the background as they come down to turn 1 for the first time. It all looks pretty good, 2 by 2. We'll stop the camera here. Oh, Eddie would be proud, mate. That was awesome run around turn 1. But, oi! Contact with the fishies.
He's made it through. It doesn't look like Angus has made it, but Thomas Freeman's made it through, and Angus is going to suffer the crowd coming through there to be able to turn his car around.
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
whatever you ride,
whatever you ride,
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And they are off. It was a good start from Dylan de Bono. I think Phil Vella got a great start there in the background as well. You can see already cars going 5, 6 wide as they're trying to find any semblance of space. They come into T1. So far we've got 2, 3 wide as they snake down. It's Michael Conchar that's got around Dylan de Bono. A couple of cars going wide there. Was that a bit of contact in the back? Scott Pocock caught up in that, I think, there, buddy. But it's Michael Cullajar's got past, so Dylan.
Light is coming out and we're about to get going, and we have a green light and a very slow start for the 86s, but they are moving out there on the grid. It would be very interesting to see exactly which driver can capitalise on this first lap. Just go through the grid. Look like Jamie Christensen had a really awesome start to get ahead of Dylan de Bono, and Doug Gowage also jumped his teammate as well, so unfortunately Dylan stalled the car a little bit more than what he preferred. But
Weekend in, weekend out, Motorsport Australia officials are making waves. From waving flags, waving cars through pit lane, or responding to a wave for help. Wave hello to new lifelong friends. Who knows, you might just make waves around the world. Ride the first wave. Search Motorsport Australia officials today.
Still great classes of car, and if you are able to, if you're coming up the ranks on iRacing through the licenses, it's a fantastic sort of laneway into prototype driving, going from that GT3 up through the prototype classes. As the safety car pulls in, we get ready to go green as we come up towards the line. Edwards, Hasler, who's going to get the jump down to turn 1, or will any of the fishies, any of the piranhas in behind them, assault them down towards
they're green and they're off.
First lap. Let's go here.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's.
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's. Insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolutely being competitive here. Really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is the final round of the Formula V Motorsport Australia Nationals Round 9. And we are at Tsukuba Circuit here, this glorified go-kart track, which would absolutely suit these Formula Vs down to the ground. I'm James JP Parfitt, alongside Andrew Cowan, who's going to be alongside me here again as well. Cowie, buddy, how are you doing today?
Mate, I'm doing pretty good. I was complaining to you a bit before we started about my sore arm and that, but it is getting better, buddy. So, been able to be on the rig. I was on practicing for last night, but they postponed the V8s, but the Vs, well, they get to finish their championship here at, as you said, a go-kart track, man. I love it.
Yeah, mate, come on, it's not much more, is it? You can't tell me that Tsukuba is anything more, but you know the problem with these games? I have this secret love of Tsukuba. It is an epic circuit to run around in little Mazdas. We've been around here in Clios, Formula Vs, and the FF1600s and Formula Fords. It's a quality circuit, and I think it's one that really suits these cars. And I think at the end of the day, this could be a grandstand finish. You know, Caleb Bellick's only got to go out and win the first race, and Sam Chapman's got to finish in 4th. And the championship's done after the first one. If it doesn't, then it's coming down to the wire.
You don't have to convince me about the merits of this track, buddy. It has very much an Oran Park sort of feel to it. And us Aussies, we love Oran Park. It's one of those quite fast-flowing tracks where you can really push limits and, as you said, perfectly suited these cars. Caleb Bellick, well, he's been the man that has got on top of these machines. Sam Chapman, he's been chasing him down all season. Had some great battles and results, but he's had a couple where he's got caught up in the mess with other cars, and that's probably really what's cost him that point differential that we were talking about.
Yeah, it is. It probably has. And the thing is, though, it's always been tough. They've had 2 races a night to deal with. There's been a lot going on. We've had upwards of 20-odd Vs scooting around at one point. Obviously, we've got a bit of a light going this week, but we are at the final round. It's kind of expected. And obviously, with just the Easter weekend that's just gone as well, some could be recovering a certain state that they have got themselves involved with. I don't know, but at the end of the day, even if you put 15 Vs at Tsukuba, you've still technically got a full grid. It's just not big enough for a 30-40 car grid.
It would be an exciting race with 30 or 40 of these things flying around, as you said, a glorified go track. But yeah, look, I'm looking forward to tonight, buddy. Final round. We can see these guys go out there and race hard, and as you said, it's really down to Chapman. Can he take the fight to Caleb? He's, you know, sort of mathematical chances still alive.
Well, to be fair, we're going to find out by the end of this. End of qualifying, right? By the end of qualifying, if Chapman is not on the front row with Caleb Bellick, I don't think he's going to get through. And the reason I say that is once Caleb Bellick gets out in front, he just runs. He's like a scolding cat. He's off and he's gone. And nobody ever seems to get near him. So if Chapman can't get him on the front row and get next to him and possibly take the lead going into turn 1, I think Bellick's gone. I really do strongly feel that once he's out in front, Cowie, he's just a rocket. He's just so hard to catch. And that's no disrespect to Chapman. He's just exceedingly quick.
I think we've seen it all season. Remember, each one of these races, race 9s, has had a reverse top 10 second race. and Caleb has stepped on the top step of more than those second races as well as the first one. So that shows that he can get through the track as well. You're right, he's quick. Sam has shown that on his day he's equally as quick. Is he a little closer to that edge of grip than Caleb is? Well, perhaps, but you know, we want to cheer him on because we need him to put on a show, and you know, we don't wish Caleb any ill out there, but you know, a mistake here in qualifying something at a rear grid start would be rather entertaining.
Yeah, it definitely would. I think from Caleb Bellick's point of view, the kid is not stupid. He's not going to go out and thrash it. He knows he's got a gap. He knows he could probably finish his freeway. He's just got round. He knows he's probably going to be able to finish, I don't know, a couple of places, 2 places, 3 places behind Chapman. To even warrant it, because Chapman's got to overturn a massive gap, and it's not an easy gap to try and overturn. And I think Chapman is going to be able to do that, whether or not he can do it, because sometimes it comes down to how much sort of, I want to say steelies you got, but I've got, you know, you can get where I'm going with that, to be able to get it done, you know what I mean?
That's right. Nathan Allen out there saying the cards are a bit loud if you want to check that.
Yeah, I've just sorted that out, mate. I've just turned them down.
Beautiful. But, yeah, look, I think you're right, but, like, as I've sort of said before, I mean, the difference between the pro level and the pro-am level, you know, when you find a track that the pro-am has done a lot of work at, he'll be equally as quick at that track, right? What happens is, in a race situation, when you're pushing hard on that, you know, if you're driving right at the edge of your limit, lap after lap, well, then you're right up at that, you know, position where you might make a mistake. Now, if you've got a little bit more speed than the guy in front of you, and you know, you can push him without pushing yourself right to that limit, and of course you're going to, you know, be more inclined to make mistakes. And the problem is when you're chasing someone that's a little bit faster than you, you know, you're, you know, hanging it out to dry yourself, trying to keep up with them, and that does open up the chance for mistakes. Out of all of that I've said, JP, though, the fast guys are the guys that ride that limit all the time.
I do agree. One of the things I'm not seeing, Dan Byrne is not here. So Pocock, Chapman and Bellick are the main front 3. So I've got a funny feeling that's where the winner's going to come from. All of them are here. Chapman hasn't got time on the board. He still hasn't got time on the board as he's on his run down now through the right hand out here. So I think that in regards to how they're going to get on, it's how much practice they've done for the final part of this, and how much Sam Chapman's determined to go and try and take it, because at the moment it's not. But we've still got technically 10 minutes left of quali, so he's got plenty of time to maybe try and get a good decent time on the board.
Well, I think he did say last week that he sort of struggles to get a lot of time to practice these. So normally it's the 2-hour practice session beforehand where he's sort of finding his feet. So he's just done a 1:04.9, so a couple of tenths off Caleb Bellick, so P3 at the moment. So starting to find some pace here, but yeah, I think you're right. Look, that's what it comes down to. The guys that have spent a bit of time here, driven this track before, you know, more confident here, they'll know where they can push. And at the moment, you know, the gap is still pretty close. As you said, a smaller grid, but we're still, you know, the top 5 are all within about 4 or 5 tenths of each other.
Yeah, but then as we've also said, how many more do you want? Because you put too many on here, and it's all just going to go Pete Tong very, very quickly. You know, you'll have 30 or 40 of them or whatever you're rushing down into turn 1, and I can guarantee 30 or 40 are not going to come out the other side, because of the way that it is. This racetrack kind of brings out the inner youth go-kart man in any driver, and he starts thinking that he can throw it up the inside and get it through and all this other fancy jazz, and it just doesn't work here. But I think the number that we've got with the 11 that are here, I think the main ones are here. You know, Belak's here, Pocock's here, Chapman's here. They're the three main ones in the championship, really. Pocock, he's probably like the 200 to 1 outsider on a horse race. You know, he's there, but he's got to perform absolute miracles to be able to get anywhere.
Well, he's shown good pace in these cars. He just hasn't really had a click together for the whole race. So I suppose, you know, does Belak, you know, at the moment he's on pole, so, you know, he can run away with it straight away, and then he doesn't have to worry about race number 2. If someone can get him into T1, does he just take it easy and handle that? You know, don't worry about pushing back hard. I mean, I can't see it. The kid is a racer. He keeps pushing hard. Out here, I think what we are going to see, though, we've seen a few of the cars bunching up together now, but for a while there, all of those lap times were fairly honest, buddy. No O or anything.
I think this is going to be quite an exciting one in some shape or form, and Steve Sinkovic has, however, just shown us how not to take a corner, and that would be how you don't do. Let's have a look.
I reckon he shifted maybe back to second there. The car stepped out. It's one thing that these things don't like.
No, it's definitely a third and fourth gear track. I wouldn't. If you go down into second, you are in, well, Steve Sinkovic's world.
You've got to do a big heel and toe blip, and it's quite difficult to get it to, you know, work where it doesn't step the car out.
Yeah.
But as we've said before, you know, one of the things about these cars is they're designed to get you to your grip limits, to that edge of grip, and they're actually, you know, sort of one of those cars that's fairly easy to control when you're slipping and sliding around. Now, that's in real life. I think these cars can be really tricky in iRacing. Obviously, you know, the better gear you've got, direct drive wise, wheel, pedal, stuff to help you, but they're still a tricky thing to master. And like every car, it's one thing to be able to jump in and drive it around and do some laps. It's another thing to be quick in them.
That's the problem. People think they're so easy to drive, and then they hit second gear, and then the car goes round, and they're like, why did that happen? And you know, they've got to remember that they don't do that. Stay with these cars. It is a momentum-driven car, so they've got to keep that momentum up in it for it to be able to go what it needs to be doing at the rate that it needs to be doing it. You know, if you start messing around and going down to second and then back in and third, and you're not going to go anywhere. Just got to try and sometimes almost let it roll, like hit third and then just kind of let it roll and use that sort of small amount of banking at Tsukuba to be able to basically keep you on your momentum going round. It's almost like using the banking for NASCAR. You know, you use the banking and just let the car go. And these are almost the same as that. You just got to be flowing with it. You know, it's like you playing your instruments, Cowan. If you start jiggling your hands around all over the place, it's going to sound like you're at a jazz concert. You know, you've just got to let it flow. You know, drive it nice, keep it kind. What do we say?
I know that was Liz Campbell, the aerial ski jumper. They asked her, you know, during her sort of jumps and stuff like that, was she thinking about the jump? And, you know, she said no, she's thinking about, you know, what she was going to hang out, what she got to hang out on the line. Because she said if you're actually thinking about the jump during the jump, then you've already stuffed it. So, you know, and I think a lot of motor racing is the same. If you're thinking about things, you know, that's where you can get yourself in trouble. I know people ask me, how can you, you know, do live streaming and talk and that while you're racing? And I said, that's not the problem. The talking's not the problem. It's the thinking's the problem. So if you're thinking about what you need to say or what you want to say, that's when you'll make a mistake on track.
And that is why sometimes what comes out of my mouth sounds like absolute waffle, because I haven't thought about it before I've spoken, because I haven't got time to do that. So, but then that's what, you know, makes us do what we do every Monday, Cal, isn't it, really?
But spontaneity, it happens.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, you know, even the best will let go a naughty word or two, you know, in their broadcast history, because it just comes out.
Yeah, it definitely does. Caleb Bellick, however, has now got down into third place. Sam Chapman is taking that position away from Caleb at the moment. So Sam's doing what he needs to be doing. Scotty's doing what he needs to do. And Caleb's has just got to do what he needs to do. So I think, to be honest with you, the way the scoring system is here, I don't think really Caleb's going to be in much danger. I think it's 56 for third, 60 for the win, so that's only 4 points. So really, in hindsight, Caleb needs to not finish any races for Sam to remotely take advantage.
Yeah, look, that's it. I mean, we went through a similar situation on Wednesday night. There's mathematical chances. Things can happen. I mean, we did see it with the Pro-Am, sorry, the AMs on the Tuesday night, where the leader of the AMs had about a 20 or 25 point lead, got a black flag, and had a drive-through penalty. So suddenly he was out of the running in the AM Championship battle right down to the last lap. So, you know, as a commentator, you love it when things go to the wire like that. But I think, you know, Caleb's just been too smooth, too clean, and, you know, he's kept his nose out of pretty much everything on track, and pretty much carved his way through the field and got straight to the front as quick as he could. He's run away with, you know, almost all of the races this season. I mean, the points are closer because, you know, Sam and Scott and some of the other guys have had decent finishes, but, yeah, 60-point lead, or 54-point lead, is it, going into the final round, and there's only 4 points separating each spot. He's got to have pretty much 2 really bad races to lose this title, I would think.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's enough places that he can drop. This guy, I don't even know. Even if he goes down to 10th, that's 42. He loses 18.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even enough then.
Oh, it is that. You know, I mean, obviously we'd like it to be a bit closer, but you know, he's deserved. He's to be the front runner for the inaugural season here of the Motorsports Australia Formula V Championship. So, you know, I think we've had a chat to him pretty much every week, haven't we?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I do talk to this young man a couple of times a week. He normally drops me a message and, you know, just almost like a check-in. And then we have a chat for 10 minutes or so. Just, you know, how's it going? How's it been? You know, he was at the Australian Grand Prix and all this. So, yeah, he's one of the nice guys. I'm not saying everybody else on the grid is horrible. I'm not saying that, because I haven't chatted to them probably half as much as I've chatted to Caleb. But it's not often that you see humility within a racing driver where they do reach out, they do have a chat, you know, they want to interact with you and they keep you updated and stuff like that. So he is one of the nice guys, but we are coming towards the end of qualifying, and as you can see, Chapman is going to be on the pole position. I don't think Bellick's going to get him on this run. He's not.
Yeah, we can finish it.
Yeah, not getting a chance to finish it here as well. So here is the grid. For race number 1, Sam Chapman will be on pole with Scott Pocock in second, Caleb Bellick in third, Charles Filo fourth, Sinkovich Dean in fifth, Graham Dooley sixth, Steve in Sinkovich in seventh, Kevin Wakefield, Marty Walker and Mike Rush are the last ones on to the grid. Cowie, how many safety cars?
Yes, these guys have shown to be pretty clean. It's a small grid, but I still can't say 0, so I think there'll be just 1 tonight.
Reckon. I've got to go. I've got to go
These
zero.
cars
I
are,
don't
these are
think there's
little
gonna
fragile things, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You don't think there's going to be any? Yeah, I know. It's just not in me to say zero. I think.
I said zero.
It's just not in me.
Said it.
Zero safety cars in that context, you know what I mean? Where I'd actually, put something on it. I just couldn't.
I think there's going to be zero. I know these are nothing more than a cow's trough stuck with wishbones and that, and a top put on them. But I still believe that these guys are going to be sensible enough, right? Can't go all Pete Tong with 10 cars on the grid, because otherwise it's going to be just
You
literally.
did say it was a go-kart track.
Yeah, but it
You
can't
did say
be.
it was a go-kart track.
It is, but look how wide it is. Look, there's
Yeah, I
a
know, in a
massive.
couple of places.
Yeah, there's a massive gap.
Yeah, but
it'll be
you
going
don't
through
use the
2, 3,
inside of
4.
that track.
No, you don't. It'll be 2,
No,
3,
they
and
don't
4.
use the inside of this corner.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
here they don't use the inside. They're all out on that curbing. That's why it's black.
no, I think they're sensible. I honestly
hang it a
believe
bit
it.
wide there and catch a bit of the grass there as you enter on. That could be quite dangerous.
Now we only get generally if you get a safety car if there's like a 2 or 3 car pile-up, right? So,
true. Or a broken machine that can't move. That's the other thing. But there's not a lot of runoff here either.
No, I do agree. There
Even
isn't.
on the radio there, wishing the boys a good race and thanking them for the season. It has been an interesting season, I will say that, JP. We've seen some great racing and some great battles. We've seen a couple of calamitous moments, but for the most part, the guys have been racing hard and fair.
Yeah, they have. We haven't had many safety cars in this.
No. I think you're right. The race control extended it to 3 minutes in the grid. I don't think we really needed 3 minutes to read all of those names out.
I think they could have got 2 minutes. It would have been fine. To be fair, we probably could have done it in a minute and a half, to be honest. But there we go. Right, is Ben Simpson going to join us? He is not. So we have got 10 here for the race. Now we're going to get these underway. It's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are away again. It is green, green, green. Chapman did not go anywhere. Bellick went like an absolute rocket at a Chinese festival here, and he shot off the line and is on his way round the outside for Scott Pocock. He's going to have the inside for the run through to turn 2 and turn 3. Why is that important? Because the left-hander at the bottom for turn 4. You need that inside line to be able to carry on. Bellick has done that. He got away at the start, took off, absolutely gone. And as we said now, can they catch him? That's going to be the question, Cal.
Chapman didn't want that poor start because now that's put him behind Pocock. He needs to clear him quickly, otherwise Caleb's going to sail away into the distance.
Yeah, he will. But the problem is obviously Pocock's obviously fighting it out still in the championship-ish. I say ish here because it's a big old gap. And I don't think there's enough cars on the grid to even remotely influence Bellick's score going into the last heat, which will be after this one. Of course, we've got 2 20-minute heats. But Bellick is out in front with Pocock, with Chapman. That's where the free and that's where the protagonists are. Then we're going to have Chai Filo, Graham Dooley, Dean Stinkovich there as well. Pocock looks up the inside of Bellick, doesn't commit to the move. Kevin Wakefield further down in 8th. He's got Martin Walker behind him. One of the Sinkoviches has gone round. It's Stephen, unfortunately, has taken a spin. Steve there has gone round, not done himself any favours now. He's had to drop all the way down to the back end of the field. But there is the current leading positions on the left-hand side. And as you can see, Caleb Bellick, Pocock, Chapman, Dooley are your top 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stephen, he's doing his best to try and buck that Spinovich label, but lap 2 here for the Bees. It rears its ugly head once again. Nice run here from Chapman on the inside of Pocock. He's going to be able to box him in here, I think, and make sure of the spot. Good space, giving room all the way around, but Pocock on the outside line.
That's where it needs to be. That's where the faster line is. Generally how we run this circuit is we let that go all the way out to the grass. Chapman's then going to take the inside line. He's clearly got a little bit more pace with if we're going off the quali time, but quali time and race time are completely different, as we full well know. Dooley's now cleared Philo, Sinkovic behind, and Wakefield behind that. Mike Walker in the battle with Wakefield, Mike Rush and Steve Sinkovic, unfortunately a long way off. Steve is literally out, actually, by what I've got on my screen at the moment.
One of the things that did show is it it took Sam about 6 or 7 corners to get that job done. So, you know, one thing it does do, these guys are able to sort of go side by side through quite a good chunk of this, middle part of the track, and battle hard. So, you know, you don't just want to see the slingshot situation and they keep swapping lap after lap, but side by side battling, that's what we want to see for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chapman is going to have a go. He's got to get there, though. He's got to be careful of that inter-wheel lock-in. If they have that inter-wheel lock-in in these little open wheelers, it goes off and they go up very, very quickly here. So they've got to be a bit more mindful of interlocking as they're coming round turn 4 now. Now they're going to go through the run of the right hander of turn 5 before they go out onto that long looping left-hander of turn 6, again coming down into 7, dropping it down a gear. Don't forget they'll only go down into 3rd, coming round turn 8, and now let's run off the start. This is where the draft again, though, Cowie. Could it play a part, pulling in Pocock, pulling in Chapman closer to Belloc?
Well, Pocock, you know, again, we've seen before, the draft in these cars is great when you get behind 1, but when you're the second car behind 2, so you're car 3, that can be, you know, double the tow. So Pocock's certainly not out of it at the moment, and both of those guys running wide there, so all of them picking up a 1X, I would say. 3 wide, are we? No, not quite.
No, not quite. Chapman did think about it, but didn't quite get there. What's going on with Dooley and Sinkovic? Lots. That's what's happening. As Dean, it looks like he's just cleared Charfilo as well. These guys continue to fight out as they're on their run through the turn 2 and down through 3, coming through the left-hander of 4. And you can see they're still battling it out. But what is happening up front? Well, Pocock's drifting off a little bit. Nathan, you are correct. They did hold that championship at one point. They're now more of a testing circuit. Chapman's looking at going up the inside. I don't think he's going to be able to hold that one. He's not. Bellic's going to get the run off the banking, which is very slight there, Cowie, but the banking does kind of help in the rotation of the machine.
Look at Pocock, again, that double draft, it's enabled him to close right up on the back. And we're seeing multiple different lines. I think the good thing we're seeing is there's a couple of good battles down the field. This battle for 3 at the front, and then 4, 5, 6 battling hard as well. You can see there in the back of the screen. Oh,
Sam, you need
Chapman going up the inside.
You know, the problem is, though, he needs to get across his nose coming into 4. If he doesn't get across his nose, Bellec's going to have the inside for 4. And then that should give Chapman the inside. He's just not able to carry it out. Yes, it has held the world time attack. It still holds that as well. And also the annual visit of the MFJ All Japan Superbike Championship. The smaller 1000 course is ideal. They're using it for testing for amateur racers and riders. So the circuit does still get used, but few and far between, should we say. As these guys, they're going to... Oh, don't do that.
Little wheel bumping there. Pocock, he'd be waiting and, you know, rubbing his hands together if he didn't have them on the steering wheel, watching the front 2 fight like that. This is a great little battle here. 3 cars trying to fit into 1. Pocock here trying to look up the inside as well, but doesn't quite have the momentum, and he's looked a little switch there. Oh, how close are they, JP? This is tight, and the same 4, 5, 6 battling hard as well.
Yeah, Dean just managed to get up the inside of Kevin Wakefield. He couldn't carry the outside coming down through 2, 3 and 4. He's carried the outside speed of the side of 4. He's going to get the inside for 5. But again, Chow now is going to come and get himself involved because he's seen the opportunity So Wakefield is now trying to get back up onto Dean, but he's got to be a little bit more mindful of where Chow's going to come in, and unfortunately he's just done a little bit of a boo-boo there as Philo dropped him back up front. Pocock's now on the inside of Bellick. Can he block him in and use Chapman as a little bit of a stopping point? Yeah. Oh. Wow, they nearly stopped together very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Keller could come down and taken his nose off them for a moment, but it's Chapman that has reversed it.
Yeah.
Now we're about almost 8 minutes into this race, so not quite halfway yet. These guys are battling like it's the last lap.
I think, though, for them, it's a championship defining lap, isn't it? It's the race that they've got to do. They know they've got to give this all they've got, and that's the problem. And Graham Dooley has been giving it far too many beans there as Mum Racer comes in and says, let's go Dooley. Well, unfortunately...
Oh, no, tried Philo. Maybe gave him a little bit of help there.
Yeah, he definitely did, mate. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Martin Walker has also been black flagged by race control for an earlier incident.
Yes, but it also cost him by having to jump back to the pits. So I'm wondering, actually, this could be the first Walker incident. It's coming off the final corner, coming down into turn 1. Is he going to take the dive up the inside? It looks like he is. Whoa!
Oh, so that's what happened to Wakefield.
Was that
Why he
Wakefield?
hit it on lap number 6. I thought I heard something on the comms Kevin called out, but he probably wasn't expecting to go for a flip over the fence.
He definitely did go for a fence because he instantly went straight back to the pit. So Kevin Wakefield there, unfortunately, took a dive out off into the crowd. Dooley's in the pits, Mike Walker's in the pits. No real surprise on that one after what's just happened to Dooley. He put himself in the back. Right as Mum come into YouTube chat. Racer, let's go Dooley and Rushy. Dooley ended up getting spun round, so let's hope Mike survives while he's out there. However, Mike's doing a great job. He's up 4 places from 10th, sitting in 6th at the moment. Chapman's going to try and go around the outside run this time. He's kind of going to be carrying the mill speed, but the outside of 1 does lead to the inside of 2, but you've got to be flowing around that outside for Chapman. He's got to make sure that he can actually carry that momentum. Otherwise, Bellick can just come across and take his nose off again.
That's right, you want it right here. It looks like he has done it so far. Yep, you can hold up that inside. That's what we're talking about. I mean, you make a move and it takes you half of the lap to actually bed it in, and it's still not bedded in here. And if anything, you know, Bellac up for it and comes back in front. So, you know, spent half a lap trying to get it done, they couldn't get it done. Now we'll have another go at it.
Why not? Give it
Maybe
all you
opening
got.
the door for Pocock a little there. That was close.
I don't know if Scotty's going to sit back and think, do I really want to be involved, or am I going to let them fight it out first?
I think this is the racer, so he's joining the race, seeing he's in the hunt. These boys are battling hard. I mean, perhaps it's a little bit of a Bradbury situation where you can hang back, but I don't think that's on Scotty's mind at the moment. He's riding the fight here.
I'm wondering if, though, sensibly what I would be doing, now don't get me wrong, Carway, I've been driving NASCAR trucks all week, so I'm the furthest one to tell these guys what to do, but learning from that and the chaos that I've come across in that one, I think if I was Scotty, I would just kind of sit there, wait, and see what mistakes come out. They've still got 8 minutes, right? They've still got a lot of laps. There's like another 8, 9, possibly even 9 laps to go, because they're only on 105s at the moment. So I think if he suddenly makes a mistake like Bellick has just made that mistake, Scotty's now almost putting him under pressure to take advantage of it. Can't quite take advantage of it, so therefore I'll wait, then go again, as Bellick again got a little bit out of shape going into the corner there at the bottom, turn number 10, and then he's now got to sit back and wait again. So is Scotty just trying to capitalise on the mistakes that's been made?
I think they're all trying as hard as they can to find a fast line and maybe use that little slingshot that they're getting. As you can see that they're, you know, looking at 2, 3 different lines on the way into some of these corners. That just goes down to how much momentum they've got. You see there, Bellac really wide and Chapman trying to hold that momentum, but that wide line has given Bellac, enough momentum to hold the inside and switch it back around once again. Pocock is trying hard, but
too late. He did not get across him. Bellac, you had the opportunity coming out of that corner, out of turn 4. You did not come across early enough. You went to come across him by that point. Chapman's going, hey, I'm here. Don't even think about it, sunshine. So, Chapman playing the game there. He got his front wheels right alongside him. Was like, I am here. You are not doing this. This is where the draft's going to pick up now. They're going to go zooming up to the back of Caleb Bellac very, very quickly. You see it on the left-hand side. The 2 temps keep going down very, very quickly. Again, this will be what will be happening this time around as well. As they're coming onto that start-finish straight, we're hitting it on 2 temps. We're already down to 1.5. We're already going to be below that. We're almost going to be 3 wide by the time we get into turn 1. So the draft here, definitely a strong one, I think. I think we can safely say on this one, Cowie.
I think if the straight was maybe another 100 metres longer, you'd see definite passes. At the moment, it's enough to get them really close, but maybe a bit of bravery required. But again, although we do call this a little bit of a goat track, this course, it is wide enough in places that Formula B, they're having no trouble going too wide for half the lap. So, it's very hard to get in front and do that block pass because there's multiple lines, multiple apexes you can take for a lot of these corners.
Yeah, it's all about carrying the momentum if you're on that inside, to carry it so quick that you can come across and just let that outside guy know. Like now, Bellac's got the opportunity to let it run, and he has let it run. And that's what I would... Oh, no!
Good save.
Carry
what
on.
A hell of a save that was. That was
a little bit mental. But that's what I said about letting it run coming out the corner. You can see Bellac opened it right up, and then they just touched wheels there, and then there was a little bit of a grab, and then Bellac managed to hold on. So now he's going to be going again. Chapman has slowed down to allow Bellac to go back through.
Yeah, he's redressed that, so take it out of race control's hands. So he realised I think the thing that Chapman did there, because he was coming from off the track and trying to make space up the inside there. So, sometimes that will come down to, you need, if you go off the track, it's then considered, your responsibility to rejoin safely. So I think Caleb probably had the right to close the door there and stop the runoff, and Sam pushed it a little bit, and that contact, wow. Caleb, that's a hell of a save, because I think most of the rest of us would have gone into the wall hard after a tap like that.
Yeah, definitely as well. I'm also thinking on that, though, is Cowie, the fact that momentum carried Chapman round that outside line. I'm wondering if he just had a big, massive amount of overspeed coming into the back of Bellac, and that's where the initial contact, because it was front right to rear left. Front right to rear left. So it's not often you get tyre to tyre, and when you have obviously 2 forces going forward and you try and put them together, you end up with complete and utter chaos. And that's why obviously we saw the massive reaction from Bellac as we did, and I'm wondering if just Chapman carried too much speed. He wasn't even remotely on there, he just had too much speed going around the outside line. Bellac cut his nose off, nowhere for Chapman to go.
Well, look, I think this corner, these guys are running right out. I wouldn't be surprised if, if you go outside that curb, there's a 1X.
No, there isn't.
But these guys are just trying to carry him up. There's no 1X? Okay.
Nope.
That's fine. So they're just using all of that. But again, if you're in front, the car behind, is only entitled to that space inside the corner if he's up sort of, past your wheels. So, sometimes it's the car, well, generally it's the car behind's responsibility to make sure there's no contact in those cases. And that's why he redressed the spot. But as we see, he's already got past Caleb Bellac once again. What this has done, though, it's given Scott Pocock a big lead, 2.8 seconds at the moment. So he's ahead of the tow and only 3 minutes to go. So it's like 3 minutes.
Yeah. It's going to be probably still 3 laps, though.
Yeah.
They're still going to have 3 laps to basically be able to battle away, and Chapman and Pocock are doing just that. They are battling. They are doing this in a way that we're hoping they were. That's the thing. Although there's been contact, it's been sportsmanlike all the way, hasn't it? There hasn't been, oh, Chapman didn't then just go, no, I'm going to go and run away with it. It's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? He kept it there, and he allowed Bellick to come back through on it.
Well, that's right. He realised what happened there. He wasn't trying to get contact. He was just trying to carry as much speed as he could. And the amount of track disappeared rather quickly. So he readjusted that. The boys are fighting hard here. Scott Pocock's got that gap out to 3 seconds. I can't see these two catching him, especially the way they are battling at the moment, because we've seen before, once you start battling with other cars, then you sort of affect the speed of both of you. And you can see Dean Sinkovich, he's 5 or 6 seconds back there, but he has been sort of slowly closing in on these guys while they battle.
And I know, you would love it if Pocock slowed down and these guys went at it for the final lap. Come on. We would sit back and we would be like, oh.
And if you were in Pocock's position, would you give up a chance of the W, a nice sort of relaxing chance of the W, instead of sort of having to hold your breath for a lap?
No, not on your Nelly. I don't have the skill level. I don't have the skill level to hold these guys up. If I slowed down anymore, mate, I'd be probably down in 4th or 5th or something. So, no, I would run away with it. I'm not going to lie. Scotty.
Well, we've seen before that it's the ideal spot is to be sort of P2 with that last lap. I think he's at the white flag lap now. It probably should be.
Yeah, it should be.
And we'll have to keep an eye on Bellac and see if he's able to get that run.
Oh, Barney's gone on holiday. Barney's having a day off today. I didn't see him waving, but I'm on the understanding that it should be the final lap of the race.
It should be, yes.
Yes, it is. Barney's just decided that. Having a night off tonight is old Barney. There we go. As Pocock is coming round now through turn 5, the right-hander. You got to admit, I think secretly, right, we know how this is going to go. Pocock's going to take the win. Chapman's going to get the second. Bellick's going to get the third. Then we're going to...
Bellac sent it.
Oh, no, nearly.
It was a deep dive there.
He tried. He knew he had to come back, but I can tell you what, he had to come from quite a long way there. Scotty Pocock's going to go round the final corner. We'll pick up Scotty going over the line. There he is. He comes through. He takes the first race of the evening to Scotty. Who's going to hang on in the background? It is going to be Chapman. It is going to be Bellac. And it is going to be the 1, 2, 3 for the championship contenders. There we go. Awesome racing.
Excellent racing, and again, Chapman and Bellac championship rivals. There's a lot of points separating them at the moment in the championship 56. So I'm sure Chapman needed Bellac to have a bit poorer race number 1. But in saying that, they were battling fair and hard, and probably enjoying themselves immensely. It's not always about championships and race wins, JP. Sometimes you can just have a blast racing guys out on track, racing close and hard.
Yeah, I think people forget sometimes what this game is about and what this is for, right? We do this as racers and they have fun. I think that's the main point of it, isn't it? It's enjoying what you're doing, and if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. But Scotty Pocock did enjoy that. He took the win by 3.2 over Chapman with Bellac. You're 1, 2, 3. Dean Sinkovich in 4th. Chow Philo 5th. Mike Rush in 6th. Martin Walker in 7th. Ben Simpson did get back onto the track. Comes home in 8th with Kevin Wakefield, Stephen Sinkovich and Graham Dooley, your top 10 and 11 there. Warm up, top 10 reverse. Who's going to win?
Well, Pocock is, he was the beneficiary of with a contact there between Chapman and Bellac. He's got to start behind those two, so be in the same spot again. I think Scotty's on for a good night. It seems like he's got some good pace and control here at our go-kart track. And, it's... Yeah, look, I have been saying that, look, Scott, even in the F3s as well, he's sort of one of those guys that's had pace from time to time and hasn't had a lot of luck go his way. He's made a couple of mistakes himself. He's been involved and caught up in a couple of other people's mistakes. And I think that sort of has probably crossed the board, both in the Vs and the F3s. But, as you saw there, give him an opportunity and, he's not going to let it go. And at that, moment there, the moment the chance arose, he drove through and, brought home the first of the W's for the night. So I think Scott's in a good spot. I think Chai Filo's another one that we know that he can race better. He got a black flag in that last race there that affected his position. And but he's been one of those guys we've seen that's been on the back of the fast guys. Now that they've got one race under their belt here, JP, these guys should be a little bit more confident about racing around this circuit.
Should they?
Should they?
Should they? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but you and I both know that yes, they should. But sometimes confidence as a racing driver doesn't always come, and I think that you've got to maintain that you either are on the pace or you're not on the pace, but you've got to work blinking hard to try and get yourself on there, because otherwise confidence plays havoc, and that's a lot of the things that happen. Is confidence is a big thing as a motor racer in general, not just as a sim racer.
Unfortunately, as an armchair athlete myself, sim racer, I suppose I came to the early realization that there's real life races on this simulator that I've come up against, and of course they're going to be better than me at this thing because they do that for a living. I'm a muso who does this for a bit of fun, so I mean, there's lots of us like that are just trying to get our own sort of piece of fun out of it. We can find a few guys that are about our pace, and we can battle hard. And that's what we're seeing across the board in our seasons here at SRW. The V8s with the Pro M and the AM classifications, the same for the F3s. We've seen it in the GR86s as well.
Yeah.
And even when you're not breaking it down, as an administrating league, it still happens itself within races. If you're at the back of the grid, well, you've got 5 other guys that are about your pace at the back of the grid, so you get a good battle.
Yeah, I think you've got to be aware of what you've got and who you've got around you. And I think these guys know, Pocock, Chapman and Bellick all know that they can race. They know that there was an unfortunate bit of contact and, at the end of the day, they redressed it and dealt with it. It's all having that respect between each other. That's the reason why they can fight as close as what we have done. You do that in an official, you're in a wall.
Yeah, right. It's a big advantage of racing, league situation where, you get to know each other, you get to know how race control is going to police things. I know there are other leagues out there that maybe try to implement, the 5-second, 10-second, 15-second penalties. They can be quite hard to administer and do it during a race. There's other series may let things, go a little bit further or a little bit less. So, but part of, the race control's job, I suppose, as well, is to, deal with the racing that's on track, so the way that people are racing. There's been a couple of times where they've dragged the entire group into the Discord just to have a little chat to them and say, hey, boys, maybe tone it down a little bit. You're getting a bit excited out there.
Yeah, they are. And now the grid is going to be up for the second race of the evening. Steve Sinkovich is on pole with Kevin Wakefield in seconds, Ben Simpson third, Marty Walker fourth, Mike Rush is in fifth with Chai Philo sixth, Dean Sinkovich in seventh, Caleb Bellick eighth, Sam Chapman ninth, and Scotty Pocock down in 10th, and Dooley, Mr. Graham Dooley rounding out the top 11. Steve Sinkovich on pole.
Dooley's another dark horse.
You reckon?
That will be interesting. Yeah, I think Dooley's another good dark horse because he's shown some good pace as well, but unfortunately getting involved in an incident there in race number 1. Stephen up front, that is going to be scary.
Yeah, you're referring
this could be my safety car moment here.
You're scary in a good way though, right? You're not...
That's right, it could be my safety car moment here.
Wonderful. Right, here we go. The lights are coming in on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are green, green, green. Steve Sinkovich leads us away. Kevin Wakefield in second. Simpson in third. Chai Philo in fourth. Caleb Bellick has worked his way up into fifth. He's going to be battling out. They're going to be 3 wide almost up in front. Bellick now up into third. Philo goes a little bit wide. Wakefield goes a little bit wide as well. Chapman's on his way through. Pocock's trying to come through. And it's almost the last to first by the end of the first lap for Caleb Bellick here as he's up into second place going.
Chapman trying to emulate that, just a spot back. With it was Marty Walker, I think he missed a gear, maybe struggled to get into second off the line there, and there was some good evasive driving from the rest of the field to go around him. But yeah, starting right up the front and dropping right to the back immediately.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, unfortunately, but it is what it is, isn't it? You've got to now just crack on and get on as best as he possibly can. Steve leads us away for the first time here. Is he going to be able to hold on? How long is he going to be able to hold on for? And can he hold on long enough to allow Chapman and Pocock to get anywhere near Bellick? Or is Bellick going to do what Bellick's going to do best, and he's going to clear him by the time we get into turn 1? He has done that there as well. So Caleb Bellick now out in front again, but Pocock and Chapman are coming, and Chai Philo's in the mix as well.
You can see the confidence that Caleb had just to carry a few extra k's an hour and go run a little bit wider line around that last corner and just slingshot down the front straight. So, you know, timed it perfectly. The issue is, you know, can Sam get past Stephen here and not cost too much time? Looks like he's already thinking about it, trying to go around the outside, up the inside run here. No, Stephen's done well, held his spot. Oh, but there is the rear of the Spinovic machine going around on him once again, and he will be ruining that and maybe thumping his hand on the wheel.
Did you just say the Spinovic machine?
I did. I said that. We did talk before about not thinking about what you're saying. You do realise that, JP?
We did. We definitely did there as well. But it almost reminds me of the joke that come about on F1 where they were like, Crofty was like, my son told me a joke the other day that they're starting they're starting a show or something. Yeah, I forgot what it was, but I'll try and remember it, because otherwise if I try and tell it half-heartedly, it's just not going to be funny. So Pocock now we're trying Chapman and Bellick's run away. He's gone like a scolded cat here as Caleb Bellick.
Yeah, well, that, you know, half a lap that Chapman was behind Mr. Sinkovich, and also I think maybe the reaction that Chapman had to do to avoid contact, that's just given Caleb Bellick a 1.6 second gap. And the problem is that we've seen these guys, they're so close together in their times. Caleb's, you know, he's probably kicked the toe at the moment, but Chapman's got Pocock and Chai Philo that are right behind him in his toes. So, you know, if they start applying a bit of pressure, well, that's going to give Caleb Bellick, you know, all the, you know, the chance he needs to just skip further and further ahead.
Yeah,
and make this one a formality.
Yeah, I think it is going to be. I think. he's done what he needed to do in this one. He's escaped.
Yep, you said it earlier.
Yep. He has just escaped, and that's it.
And again, I mean, look, we've seen sort of the toe as a bit of an equaliser of sorts, where it brings people together. But now that that toe is broken, Caleb Bellick, was 0.3 faster last lap into the 104s, come around for this lap here. And again into the 104s. Sam Chapman with a 105.4, so that's 0.6. So already that gap out over 2 seconds. And what we're seeing is Pocock now applying pressure on Chapman, and has actually swept up the inside of T1 there. And now maybe a little mistake from Chapman.
Yeah, I can't see anything. We'll have a look back and see what he did going into turn 1. I think, to be fair to Chapman, there was a big avoidance of making sure he didn't end up doing what happened last time. But he was a little bit too gentlemanly that time.
Or maybe he didn't realise Scotty was up the inside there, and then saw him at the last minute, and that was enough to sort of just balk him a little bit. Where he's come out of it, lost that momentum that we talk about, how precious it is.
You've got to keep that going, and we can't really express that enough, can we? Because you've got to be making sure that you can really keep the momentum and keep it running as these guys do continue to battle on here. And I think going forward, that's exactly what they've got to make sure they're doing, is fighting, but fighting cleanly, and at the moment they're doing a great job at it.
0-2-4 has been given a drive through penalty. That's Dean Sigovic. So will we see what happened to Dean there? I don't know if he did.
What did he do? Do we know what it was?
I don't know.
Steve spun on his own. Was Dean involved with the Wakefield? No, he don't run on his own.
No.
They're the only two things.
Sure.
Marty Walker's off track here. I wonder. I got 3 incidents. Steve spinning, Marty doing that, and Kevin doing what we've just seen.
Kevin got up on the curb there. That's what unsettled that car. So, unfortunately, a bit of a passenger.
Not sure.
The rear of these cars is, you get good grip there until it goes, and once it goes, it can be really hard to sort of save it. We saw before, in that race 1 with an amazing save from Caleb Bellick. But at the moment now, Scott Pocock, he's got ahead of Sam Chapman. Try Filo's still on the back of this gap, but this is what we're talking about. The moment you've got a battle with other cars, then Caleb Bellick can start to check out, and that gap is now out to about 3 seconds over P2, and just getting bigger as long as these guys continue to fight.
Yep, well, they're going to continue, aren't they? They're not going to hold off. I don't think they're just going to sit back now, are they? They're now going to scrap it out, and that's it.
I don't think they are here to fornicate with arachnids, so I'm sure they're here to race.
Don't think that you're...
You're thinking that through, aren't you?
I am at the moment. Just go and watch the second down. Just go and watch second downward, JP. That's all she wrote.
Well, at the moment, he's doing all he needs to do, Caleb. Just get in cruise control. Scott Pocock and Sam Chapman. Well, I did say Scott was not a dark horse, but this was his night, and again sort of battling right up the front again like he was in race number 1. So definitely showing his stuff, and it's good to see. Trifilo was the other one I put a feeler out for there at the start as well. Graham Dooley P6, they were the 3 that I was talking about, and he's right on the tail of Dean Sigovic at the moment as well. But all 3 of them having a good race at the moment, battling hard.
Yep. And you see now Pocock with Chapman with Philo. Pocock's looking at taking the outside. Chapman's gone up the inside. has got the job done. I'm sure that isn't going to be the first time they're going to do this all the way through here. So great job from these guys, continue to fight. But yes, it does look like Belek has just wrapped this one up and he's just gone running away with it now. And that was a problem, wasn't it? He got out in front too early.
Out of the way of everyone. Yeah, Ben says just getting out of the way of everyone there, which is good stuff. But yeah, look, that's what it is. And unfortunately, Sam had to avoid the contact there with Stephen, and just being on the brake there for a little bit, that immediately put that gap out to 1.5 seconds. And you know, Caleb's shown that, you know, once he gets out in front, we've just seen him pop off 104.9s lap after lap. And you know, the guys behind him, because they're battling, they're in the mid 105s. So it's like he's picking up 3 or 4 tenths every lap, and that gap just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yep. We were hoping, you know, I thought there was going to be an epic second race. Like they were going to go at it. There was going to be there, and unfortunately, what we got was Belek had done. He cleared the traffic early, he got the job done early, and now he's running away with it early. And it's like, no, come back.
The kid is quick. The kid is quick, and we've seen it before, Caleb. He's got a really good race, a good racing head on his shoulders. And you are right there, SL and Gaming. It was probably a little bit rich, what I said before. But, you know, again, you know, even with a championship on the line in race number 1, Caleb could have sat back and just, you know, a couple of P3s is all he needed to, you know, secure the championship. But he wasn't interested in doing that. He was in the thick of the battle with Sam and absolutely loving it. And we can see the same here, you know, Scott. It was the beneficiary of that battle in race number 1, and it's now Scott and Sam battling hard. So Caleb, you know, benefits from that. In race number 2 with a gap well over 3 seconds.
Yeah, I know. It just would have been nice to have a little bit of a ding dong. You know what I mean?
Well,
you
look,
know what I mean, though, don't you?
It's still on for the podium here, JP. And look, you know, Chai Fila, he's not dropping off the back of this battle, so you know, definitely still in the hunt. And the moment you see cars battling together, you know, if you can stay close enough and they both make a mistake, or, you know, one forces the other into a mistake, you know, you've got to be Johnny on the spot. At the moment, Chai Filo, he's in the right location to be Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, I know. But I just don't think I enjoyed the first race battle that much. It's almost like we've had our cake, and now we've got the empty plates. You know what I mean? But look, we'll still let Chapman have a go. We'll still let, obviously, Scotty have a go as they're fighting it out for second in the championship at the moment. So hopefully these guys will put on a good show for us coming towards the last 8 minutes of the season. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the last 8 minutes of the season. Season's gone quick.
Sinkovic and Dooley having a very long go as well. I'm just watching those times sort of flicker in between the two of them, battling hard. You know, Pocock is now, he's inside 3/10. It's close at the moment. Good to see a couple of battles out there. I think Sinkovic and Rush also battling hard a couple of spots back further as well. So, you know, that's what we said. You find your groups out there that you can battle hard with and have some fun. And even if it's only a small grid, then you're going to jump off the simulator with a smile on your face and, you know, knowing that you've had a good night of racing.
Yeah, I do agree. I think they can come out of it smiling as well. SLM.
That was about my analogy before, and she was probably right. I didn't really think about it being a 15-year-old kid when I said that.
Oh, okay.
But Caleb,
we
again,
also did specify we don't always think before we speak, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we did say that. And the problem is if I'd have said it, I didn't know his name. Oh, I didn't know his age, so...
Oh, look, it's also, you know, sometimes we're stretching to be humorous as well, and, you know, humour can be on the dry side at times, and I suppose, you know, it's one of those things that we don't have to be, appreciative of everyone's level of humour.
No.
As long as it's not too crude.
I agree.
But at the moment, Scott Pocock and Sam Chapman, they are still battling hard. So, coming into the final 5 minutes of our season and our race night here, at least we're still getting battles on track, and it looks like there's like 3 of them at the moment. These 3 here battling hard, Sikovic and Dooley, and then Sikovic and Rush as well.
Yeah, these guys are very stationary. Steve's trying to close that gap to Rush. Dean is trying to get away from Dooley, who's down here. He's trying to close the gap up. Chapman and Pocock are really the closest out of the 3. Keep an eye on this. We've got 5 minutes remaining of the season. 5 minutes. That is it. Man, where is this season gone?
These guys are the ones that keep shuffling the deck and swapping positions, so they're still pushing hard. Caleb Bellac's gone into cruise control and put down another 104.9 on the last lap. I think just about every lap he's done in the past 10 or so have been, 104.9. I was 105 flat this time. So, but even just these 3 cars here, because they're battling, it's costing them a 10th or 2 minimum a lap to Caleb.
Yeah. The problem is you're never going to get them not to battle.
Yeah.
That's right. As much as you'd love to hear Chapman come over the radio and go, or Scotty come over the radio and go, right, I'm just going to follow. And unfortunately for Dean Sikovic, he looks like he's followed his brother. Is coming down now. This is through into turn 4.
A bit of curb there maybe as well, but that's Dooley. You've been pushing him hard for a few laps. So, I call that one a forced error, not an unforced error, because he's been under pressure for quite a few laps with that battle.
Yeah.
The tennis, they have forced errors and unforced errors. I think they're very much applicable in motorsport as well, because you can just force your opponent by running those different lines, playing peekaboo, or just getting your nose in places. And here, Pocock going to try to get a nice slingshot. Should have probably gone to one of these cameras a bit earlier, JP, because this is a great little angle to watch the fight.
Yeah. The problem is, so much was going on that if I was trying to get as much of it in the picture as at any one point in the first race, so I didn't really get time to get round to doing this sort of shot here on the back end of Pocock. He's trying to go up the inside of Chapman. I think he might just get that done, but I'm expecting Chapman to come hurtling round us on the outside very, very shortly. There he is, as he carried so much more pace around that outside line. And now he's going to tuck in now, Scotty, and go once more. Is he going to be able to get him? Chapman's run a little bit wide there. He's had to bring it back a little bit on the exit. Now over the line they go. This, as I said earlier, that is not on off track. So Scotty's now going to try the outside.
The other reason I like this angle is that I'm sitting in my rig at the moment, so I'm just getting the 3-screen experience. It feels like I'm always going to be out there racing with these guys.
Yeah, it starts turning you to the steering wheel, and you'll be like my daughter in my car when she's pretending she's driving as well. Through turn 5 they go. Scotty's doing a great job here, keeping Chapman honest. We can see literally every inner workings of these V's on the right hand side. We're going for it again. Are we going to be the split slingshot this time? We're not. We didn't carry enough. So now we're going to come off. Now we're going to pick up the draft. Now, as we are a collective with Scotty Pocock, going to go on the outside of Chapman now, coming down into the last corner. Scotty, you've got to go in deep. You've got to send it in and just hope it sticks, dear sir. It's like a Lightning McQueen moment. Turn left to go right.
Might get an over here though with a bit of pace.
Oh, check the problem is he was covered off. Chapman come off the corner and instantly pulled that car to the right hand side. He would have had the over. He would have had the up and under. But Chapman just covered him off as soon as he came out of corner entry.
Try to get nice and close here too as well, so he senses that this is the moment. coming up to the final minute. Do you think it's this lap, maybe one more?
This lap and
I would
one
think.
more, yeah. It's 1906. And Caleb's on his way round turn 8.
I'd say he'll probably get the white flag this way around if Barney decides to do his job for a change. Oh, big moment there from Pocock. He was trying to get a flick, but the car didn't want. I think he went to turn it in there, and the car didn't want to turn in, so he just ran a little bit wide, lost a tiny bit of time, but able to live to see another day and another lap. When you're inside the last 30 seconds, it's probably going to only be one more lap to go.
Yeah, it definitely is. We're hoping Barney's appearing on the right-hand side somewhere. No. He's having a night off.
Well, I think this has to be white flag lap inside the final 20 seconds. Caleb Bellac 5.5 seconds ahead, so he's got this one done and dusted. But it is the battle for P2. Scott Pocock here, Sam Chapman. I think this gives if Pocock gets ahead of Chapman, then I think it gives him the round win with that P1 in race 1, P2. Where was Bellac? He was P3 in race number 1, wasn't he?
Yeah, this is just going to kind of nullify the results though, because they
both the same.
Yeah, they're the same, aren't they? Because Pocock finished ahead of Chapman. Chapman's now finished ahead of them. Bellac was behind them. Now Bellic's in front of them, and now it's just really nullified everything. As we're coming down to the final corner, Caleb Bellac has come over the line. He has taken the championship. But what's happening here with Chapman? Pocock's going to try and run him on the outside. He didn't get him. Oh.
Philo's gone close too as well.
Yeah, Philo was there.
He had a good run there, Chai. He saw a chance, but unfortunately unable to get onto the podium. Would have been nice to have a chat to him this week, but not to be. But yeah, look, Caleb Bellac, again, just a class act out there. The kid is fast. He's driving these cars well. And even though he's had a little bit of sabbatical with the F1 Grand Prix, and I believe he had a pit pass or something as well.
Yeah, he did. He got a picture actually.
Yeah. So would have had a great one, but he's come back and once again right on the money and killing it out there. Exactly, Nathan Allen.
Yeah, he has. I can't remember who it. He said hey to
he
Jack
was with
Doohan,
Jack Doohan, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Liam,
Jack Doohan and Liam Lawson.
Nice.
So yeah, he got a photo there as well. Hell yeah, Caleb, the champ. He is. Yes. Very well done. I don't know if that's how you were saying it in your house, Nathan, but I thought I'd just add it in for you. As these guys are your victors here. Let's see if we can get all three together. Either one, unfortunately, they end up, there you go. The three guys, your top three in the championship. What order, Pocock and Chapman? That's going to be an interesting one, but I think it's going to be as they were. I think Cowie on that one, but let's bring you up the results here for the second race of the evening. Caleb Bellac is your winner with Sam Chapman and Scotty Pocock, 1, 2, 3. They've swapped around positions there from the first race, of course. Chai Philo in 4th, Graham Dooley 15, Singovich and Steve Singovich together in 6th and 7th. Mike Rush, Kevin Wakefield, Martin Walker and Ben Simpson there as well. So yeah, great job from all of these guys as we get the customary donuts from Bellac, from Chapman, from Pocock, and we've got Caleb waiting for us in the interview room. Caleb, welcome in, dear sir. You are the new champion.
He's muted. When you put him in.
Oh man, that was the
There
welcome.
he is.
Oh, hello, mate.
Hello, great to hear that.
Yeah. Well, you, to be honest, I don't think the maths were ever against you. I don't think there was a further enough points drop that Sam could make up that amount of difference on you. So you were probably destined going into the first race, to be honest. But you have wrapped it up, mate. You've gone out, you've done the business, and a great job.
Yeah, thanks guys. As you say, I just need to finish tonight really to win the championship. But it's a great, obviously, to finish, showing that I did deserve it, and I didn't get lucky in the first 8 rounds. I still have what it takes, and yeah, got it done. That's good.
Why would you
I
ever
was
doubt
gonna
that? Yeah, I don't. Why would you ever doubt that?
Well, no, it's always nice. Leave the lasting taste that I was the fastest throughout the season. Don't want to end it with a bad race. End it how we started it.
Well, again, it didn't look like it ever sort of factored on you to maybe just, a couple of easy thirds or fourths would have been enough to secure it tonight. You were battling hard there. You got to tell us about the save, though, when you and Sam were wheel clipped. How the hell did you keep that out of the ball?
Well, if I could tell you how I did that, I think I'd be in a lot higher place right now. But honestly, I think I got really lucky there. I felt the tap, saw the 0x, and put in a bunch of opposite lock, and thankfully it gripped up, and I managed to drive away and still get on the podium.
But you didn't look like for a moment there you were worried about sort of taking it easy in the championship. You and Sam battled super hard. You sort of in the first race, and the second race, unfortunately, well, not for you, I suppose, but you were able to skip clear quickly and just run away from them as they were battling behind you.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, obviously we had a good battle. Obviously got a bit unlucky in the first race, but I think we put on a good show up until then for you guys. And then the next race, I was expecting a bit more action, having to start with the reverse grid there, but I managed to get fairly lucky on the start. Got through them all pretty quickly, and the whole round was really just about managing risks. I knew I didn't have to take too many, so if Sam wants to have a look up the inside, go for it. I'm not going to fight you too hard about it. But obviously still wanted the results, so at the end I was willing to battle, but unfortunately we weren't there in the first race.
In the second race, I'm blaming you. Because you went too quick. If you just slowed down and let them two get through the traffic behind you, then you could have carried on your little freeway fight for race 2.
Yeah, I know, JP. I'm sorry, mate.
Mate, you just bolted off. And I said to Cowie, by the end of lap 1, when you got past on the beginning going into 2, I said to Cowie, that's it, it's done. Caleb's going to run away like a scolded cat. And he did. You were gone. And that was it. So it broke my heart to see that go that way, Caleb.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's unfortunate that we didn't have the action-packed last round that we were after, but from my point of view, I think it was good in the sense that I didn't have to deal with too many risks and could sort of take it easy in the last race.
Yeah, mate, no, I fully agree, to be honest, because Cowie asked me would I have slowed down and carried on, and I said I wouldn't have had the skills to be able to do that, because I probably would have found myself in a battle. But look, dude, you did what you had to do. You went out, you took the win, you did amazing in race 2, so fair play to you. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, bud?
Yeah, I've got to start off with SRW Motorsport. The crew were helping me throughout the whole season, spotting me and getting me through.
Oh,
we lost him.
I know.
Oh, we lost him.
So, what happened there?
And I don't know. And yeah, they got me through some of the incidents that I come through. Luckily, managed to avoid some of what I would have been involved in if they weren't there helping me. Pioneer DJ, obviously the major sponsor up the side of the car there. And then you guys, happy to chat with me week in, week out. We always had a good chat, and thankfully got to talk to you a fair few times. And then the competitors, Sam, I had a great season with him, and Scott, most of the races having a good battle.
Yeah, well done to you, buddy.
I was going to say, Sam's jumped into the chat there, so we could probably drag him down if we wanted to, too. JP.
Yeah, he is. Mr. Sam Chapman has joined us. Sam, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I've just watched a great race in race 1. I've watched you and Scotty go at it in race 2. How was it out there for you this evening?
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, we had a great battle race 1. It's a pity race 1 ended sort of the way it did with Caleb and I, because that was a great duel. But yeah, no, it was a fun night out there. Pity got away in that second race. As soon as that was broken, once I think Dean spun in front, that toe was broken. It looked pretty bad, and then we started squabbling a little bit, and just got away from us. But yeah, it was good fun out there tonight. It's one of the very few cars where I think Tsukuba can actually work.
Oh, Tsukuba works in any car. You've just got to be brave.
Nah, fake news.
Mate, I love Tsukuba, and to be fair, we did actually agree with you right at the beginning. We did say that it does work very well with the Vs. Like, it is practically a go-kart track, and it does work very well. Now, we do believe you've wrapped up second in the championship as well, so Caleb was out in front. The final gap now is about 36.
Same.
52?
I think it's the same.
Yeah, so it's basically about the same.
We had a
points coming
three-way
in.
tie for the round.
Yeah, it was about
Yeah,
the
I
same.
think the way that the finish was a three-way tie for the round with all the guys. I think SDK was showing me they all gained 7 positions in the second race.
Well, that makes sense. That's probably a nice way to tie it up, really. But yeah, it's. Yeah, I mean, well, Caleb got away. It would have been interesting to see what happened in that first round if we hadn't had that little bingle. But yeah, that's a good way to finish it off.
Yeah, it definitely has, and it's been a good season overall. And we're looking forward to next season, of course, as well. I think the day's going to change, though. I believe it's on a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, on that one. So, are we likely to see both of you back next season battling away? Should we start with you, Caleb?
No, unfortunately, I've got other commitments on Wednesday night, so I won't be returning for the first half of the season. If the availability frees up, I will come back for the second part of the season.
Awesome stuff.
That's where I'm at the moment, unless something can change and I can manage to fit this in, which I really hope that I can.
Well, I hope that you can as well. Sam, you're going to be back next season, you think?
I'm potentially in a similar boat there. We'll have to see what we can work around. I do have a deep love for the Vs, and it would be good. I think next season will be interesting because this season was mostly all the official tracks, and I think you're pretty nifty in the officials, Caleb. So it makes you pretty hard to beat on the official circuits. But maybe some of the other circuits might bring me back into it. So
a lap or two around them.
Yeah, you do a lap or two and you'll be fine. But yeah, we'll see. It was a great battle this season. We'll have to just see for next season.
Absolutely. Well, Sam, is there anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, bud? Well, before we let you both go, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, shout out to Caleb. Like he was the class of the field all season. Like at every corner, it was very rare that I was able to sort of get him legitimately in any race. It was just too quick, and it was and his racecraft was really, really good this season. So, congrats! It was well deserved. All the other competitors as well, Scott on the podium too, and everyone else who raced and organised it. Thank you to that. Mum and Dad watching every now and then as well. But yeah, and you guys for jumping on and broadcasting it as well.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you very much, guys, and congratulations on your 1-2 there, Caleb, for being the champion, Sam for second place, and obviously we give Scotty Pocock a shout out as well, who was in third. But we're going to let you go, guys. Take care as always.
Thanks, guys, and from both your two Formula V champions here, I'm happy to say that we both had a great season here. I'm pretty sure. Can speak on Sam's behalf there.
Yeah. We did. It would have been better if I beat you, but I think you're speaking on my behalf pretty effectively there.
you know what they say, though, Sam, don't you?
What do they say?
Get good, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Let me have
Take care, guys, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Have a good one.
See you guys. Thanks.
Oh, there we go, Cowie. The season has come to an end, my dear little chicken.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd make it to the end with you. This was only supposed to be a fill-in job for me, and I ended up filling in for the whole season. But I must say, look, the racing was excellent. Those early rounds where we had, 7, 8, 9 car battles for the lead, that was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that was a smaller field tonight. We still saw some great battles, and Sam tried his hardest. We knew it was pretty much an impossible task for him to take the championship, but he didn't give it up, so it was good to see.
Yeah, it was, and we would have loved to have seen a great battle like we had in race 1 and race 2, but it was what it was, and Caleb just escaped at the beginning, and as soon as he escaped, that was it. We said it was going to be done and dusted. But thank you so much to everybody who has stuck by us for this season as well. All of you in YouTube chat that have come along and said hello and joined in the banter and the conversation and whatever else me and Cowie have got ourselves talking about up here in the booth. But for now, guys, as always, from us, I've been James JP Parfitt alongside Cowie Cowan in the SRWtv booth. And as always, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.
This is amazing. Up it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from